Hi everybody, welcome to the self-check section 9.5 video. Let's go ahead and take a look at number one. So number one says, in a survey of 703 randomly selected workers, 61% got their jobs through networking. Use a 0.01 significance level to test the claim that most workers get their jobs through networking. So let's go ahead and write down the things we know. Okay, so things we know, we see that 703 randomly selected workers, so that's going to be our sample size. We know X is going to be 61% of 703. So that means we have to multiply 0.61 times 703. And what we get is 429. Okay, what else do we know? 0.01 significance level. So alpha equals 0.01. And we know that test to claim that most workers get their jobs through networking. So when it says most, what that means is greater than half, most. That's what most means. So we know P naught is 0.5. Okay, let's go ahead and construct our hypotheses. So null and alternative. So the question says test to claim that most workers get their jobs through networking. So that means my alternative is going to be my claim. So P is greater than 0.5 and P is less than or equal to 0.5. And you want to state what your claim is. Okay, so calculator work, we are using proportions. So this is going to be 1 prop z test. And what I know I'm going to enter for the calculator or the setup is going to be 0.5, 429, 703, and greater than. But let's go ahead and go to the calculator and get our test statistic and p-value. So calculate 84, and we're going to go to stat, test, 1 prop z test. My p naught is 0.5, where I'll do 0.5. X was 429. Our sample size was 703. And we are greater than, so it's going to be this last option there, greater than symbol. And we're going to go ahead and hit calculate. Okay, so we get our test statistic Z 5.84 and our p-value 2.51, but be careful, we have an e to the -9 at the end there. That's going to make our p-value very small. So let's go ahead and write this down in the notes. So test statistic was Z equals 5 point right up to 5, and the p-value was 2.52 e to the -19. But what that means is that it is basically 0. Excuse me, not 19, 9. That'd be even smaller. That's basically 0. Okay, let's go ahead and write or conclude about our null hypothesis. So we basically have 0 excuse me, let's set this up a little more. We are going to compare the p-value and compare it to the alpha. So our p-value is basically 0. Our alpha is 0.01. And so our p-value is less than our alpha. And what that means is we reject the null. Okay, so final conclusion that addresses the original claim. Here's where we're going to follow along our conclusion table. So make sure you have that ready. And what we find that we have no equality in the claim, and we reject the null. So following along your conclusion table, what you should end up with is there is not sufficient evidence to support the claim that most workers get their jobs through networking. Okay, so that's it for question one and proportions. So thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.